Sorry, so very happy to be here again. So I'm a PCO, and I also manage some small and medium-sized venues in Taiwan. And the largest one we have is ICC Tainan. It's quite newly opened last year. And so for today, I'm sharing with you the idea convention space for the Generation Z, okay? I just wonder how many Generation Z in this room. Can you raise your hand? Those people who born in 1997 to 2012. Is anyone? We got two over there. Okay, two over there. No, 4, 3. Thank you. So, thank you, Dr. Sui. So you are also Generation Z. Okay. So can we imagine that 20 years later, the Generation Z, they will be at their age 31 to 46, which means they are the mainstream of business event attendees. Okay, so we need to think about what they liked to be in the space when they engage people, when they learn something, when they network with others. So if you research a little bit, there are 3 major signature features of the Generation Z. Of course, the first one, everybody think they are tech savvy. Okay, they use a lot of digital devices when they were born, probably when they are at the age of 3 or even 2. Okay, they watch the mobile phone, okay, all the time. And most of Generation Z, I think, probably because of the education or advocacy about the climate change or environmental sustainability, so they are very conscious on the sustainability issues, which means they prefer to buy something, buy products by the company. They produce the product with sustainability mindset and process. And they also embrace the diversity, and they hope can treat people equally and include every people for any events. So when we're talking about experience for my generation, we say, okay, we experience the experience by 5 senses, which means we watch, we listen, and we touch, and we smell, and then what else? We taste, okay? For Generation Z, they get their experience from a lot of digital devices. So that's how they create their experience. Then when we're talking about the technology, I say, for my generation, I want to know more about the new technology. I want to learn more about the new technology. But for the Generation Z, they don't learn, they don't know, they just use it. So it's very different from the other generation. So when we're talking about the sustainability, just like Balari-san just shared with us, we want to attract more convention visitors to our center. We need to, use a piece of them to develop a new facility like convention center, exhibition hall, to accommodate those big events. But for Generation Z, probably they've seen it another opposite side. They probably, because the new development probably bring a lot of impact to the environment. So can we use the existing space or building or historical site, turn them into a space for meeting and exhibitions? And for the Generation Z, when we working in the convention center, normally, literally, we are working in a box, just like a box. And so we have our meeting with a room like this, with the air condition. So it's all indoors. But for Generation Z, probably they think they need more outdoor space. And of course, the eco-innovation in architecture is also very important to them. And nowadays, we learn from the occasion like this. Some people talk on the stage, back in the audience, and we have the round table style, classroom style, theater style in these rooms. But more and more meetings, they become more like a festival. We call it festivalize. When we say the meeting is no longer someone speak on the stage, someone listen in the audience side. It's more like a festival. Everybody learn from the peers. Everybody learn from different activity, not only lecture style. And they are more focused on people. To care about the people, they probably have some challenges on movement. They probably have some challenges, they call it sensory processing issues, mental health. So what the impact of this for the future meeting space? Let's say this way. So in the past, when we're thinking about the convention center, we are thinking, yes, we need to build up a huge buildings, a convention center, exhibition hall, and on a new land, for example. But in the future, could we just use some historical buildings or existing buildings and turn it into a meeting space? Just give you an example, some example. There's a Kaiser Convention Center located in Oakland. You just Google it, in California. It's a historical building, and then the government decided to turn it into a commercial space and also performing arts and also venue for events. And it attracts the Generation Z. They would like to go to this kind of space to have their events. And the other example is from Athens in Greek, and is a Zapinium Megaron Conference Exhibition Center. It was built back to 19th century for the modern Olympics, and now it become very popular events in Athens. And we also, during the pandemic time, we also talk about all these Generation Z. They are tech savvy, and there is a convention center in Montreal. Actually, is the Montreal Convention Center. They decided to turn their ground floor. It used to be the bus terminal and the warehouse on the ground floor into a permanent exhibition for immersive exhibition called Oasis Immersion. Okay, and so it brings another different ideas to turn the convention center and exhibition center not only for the business event, and it become very popular for tourists. It become one of the popular tourist spot now in Canada. And we are talking about the outdoor space. We also can use our botanical garden into event space, like in Eden Project, which is located in United Kingdom, in Cornwall, in Wales. So they use this botanical garden into an event space, and they host the royal reception for the G7 leaders in this garden. How about a meeting space in a zoo? Many cities, they have a zoo. So it's also a very famous project they have in Antwerp in Belgium. Okay, they use the facility inside the zoo and turn it into a meeting space. Then we're talking about the festivalized meeting style. It's not like a classroom or theater. When we're talking about the destination for meetings, we always mention about accessibility. We always mention about attraction of the destination. We also mention about the amenity of the destination, which means do you have hotel, shopping center, restaurant, in this center. But just like with keynote speaker today, he mentioned about the Burning Man. The Burning Man was held in a desert. There's no hotel, there's no shopping mall. You need to bring your own food by yourself. You need to, where this kind of festival will become the more and more popular in the future for meeting attendees. So what can we do with that? And another example is Guangyong Cave. Can we have a meeting in a cave, for example, and we turn the tourist space, the spot, into a business event spot? Another one is from Turkey, is Agotha. I think the first human being meeting probably was held in a cave. Okay, back to thousand and thousand years ago. So, and there are also many venues in convention center. Now they create a space called sensory room. Okay, like Brisbane, as far as I know, the Brisbane, they have a room. They call it. They make it like sensory room. They provide a space for those people. They have a neurodivergence. They experience the world very different from us, and provide space for them in the convention center. So my takeaway for today, or probably I would say my 3 questions for you, for all the audience today, we can think about after this meeting, and can conference centers use some interactive technology to turn our center not only for business event, but also for tourists as a landmark in the city, so we can attract tourists to our center as well. And the second, when we're talking about the convention center, can we use less money, and can we use the space we have in the city, and historical site, and to turn it into a meeting space? And then can we have more outdoor space in our centers or nearby? Or how can we cope with this kind of festival style meetings in the future if it's become very trendy for the Generation Z? So probably the destination can think about what kind of resources we have at hand. For example, in Malaysia, you have a lot of rainforest in Sarawak. You have many historical sites in Penang. So probably you can turn the historical site or the rainforest in Sarawak into a popular meeting space in the future. Thank you.